Okay, guys, so let me go ahead and let you guys know. We have two different types of projects today, okay? Well, they're the same, but they're done with different media. So my focus is going to be right here with the watercolors. However, if you only have dry media such as crayons, maybe color pencil, even what else is there? Even if you just have a pen and pencil, you can certainly do something more like this. So you'll just have to do a bit more of small scribbling, and I will definitely show you how to do both, but my focus is going to be on the watercolors. So get ready for that. And I'm especially excited for this particular project because this is the kind of project that really helped me specifically on my own MS journey. Because, and I honestly don't know what it is. Maybe it's the repetition, maybe it's because every single picture that I do with this technique, it ends up looking different. And I think of it as a puzzle every single time. So again, I don't know why this type of thing has helped me so much, but I figured, it would be nice to share it with all of you. So I'll just go over what we need. So if you are doing watercolor, then go ahead and take the time now to, of course, get your paper out, but get some water and get some napkins. So I always have some napkins nearby. I say always, I don't actually see one, but well, that's okay. It's not as messy as acrylics. It's just watercolor. So water and napkins, of course, paper. I recommend using either watercolor paper or cardstock simply because it's a tougher, thicker paper. However, if you only have regular copy paper or something thinner, then later on, after you finish drawing it, you can always put it underneath some heavy books or just something flat. And just give it time to flatten underneath there. So this one, if you're doing the dry media, then I feel like it's pretty straightforward, just whatever media of your choice and paper, whatever paper you choose. So with this one, I use color pencil, but like I said, if you have crayons or even just a pen and pencil, you're more than welcome to do that with this. So the thing that I love about this project is that there's a power in numbers. And I say that like every single class period at least. But I feel like that phrase has particularly helped me because it makes things, at least for me, it makes things feel a little less intimidating. With this one, for example, I started off just with purple. And I just went and kept on making these brush strokes, which I considered footsteps, until I could do that no more. And so I think I started here and then kept going until I could no more, ran out of space. Then I switched to another color. I switched to green. And I don't remember where I started on this one, but green until I just felt like it needed another color. Here's an example. If you just want to use one color, you can certainly do that. This was done just with black ink. That was it. So if you just want to do one color, you can certainly do that too. Like I said, power in numbers. We're not going to focus on making every single brushstroke perfect because you'd go crazy. I would go crazy doing that. I'm not going to do that. So I'll show you the beginning steps and we'll keep going from there. This one in particular, I think that I'd started going up here and then I kind of lost my way at some point. I think it started here, kind of lost my way. Then I backtracked a little bit and I just decided, oh, I'm just going to make this a little bit thicker. And then I decided, oh no, it's a little bit too thick. What am I going to do? I'm going to drag it back in and make it to a point. All of that was done intuitively. I did not plan any of that. So don't feel like you ever have to plan any of these marks. So I'm going to grab my watercolors. Before I move on, do I have any questions? Cool. All right, let's get started. What I like to do before any watercolor project is I like to take my water, maybe do that away from my paper. I like to take my water and wet it first. So if you happen to have a little like a spritzer or a spray bottle, it would be nice to maybe like spritz it. I think this one's on like the spray setting, but again, you don't have to have this. You could literally take your brush here, take a big scoop of water, big dipping of water, and tap the water onto your color. Just tap it on. The drop is literally just falling down. So that's what you do if you don't have a spray bottle. And I don't really know what colors I'm going to use yet. I haven't really thought that out. So I'm just going to put color on, really on anything that I might gravitate towards. Purple. I always put purple in my things. I happen to have a teal here that sounds really nice to use. Probably going to use that teal. Oh, awesome. We have somebody else joining us right now. Perfect. Cool, you guys. I am excited. I'll give you guys a moment to do that. Set this aside, and then I'll begin in another few seconds. Any other questions? Cool. So the goal of this project is just to have so many of these things that your eyes get lost eventually. Eventually, you're going to get used to how you make these brush strokes, and then you won't even think about it anymore. With this particular one, I just decided to do smaller brush strokes, and that was the first time I had ever done that. But typically, I don't put tiny brush strokes like this. Every single piece here is going to look different because you're you can only make what comes out of your head. So it's all going to be you. This one, again, I had no preconceived notion of what it was going to do. I just happened to love doing spirals and making spirals. I love looking at them in nature and in artwork. So I just naturally, I gravitate towards doing spirals. But I'll show you how to do the dry media version in a second. Think of these types of brush strokes as footsteps. Your brush is making footsteps. You're going to guide it. All right, so what color should I use? I talked about that teal, so maybe I'll take that teal. So when I take my colors, I typically like to roll my brush right here. I mean, you don't have to. If you have a lot of paint, you don't have to roll your brush, but I like to just out of habit. I'm going to pin my screen really quickly so everybody can see me and me only. Okay. All right. So if you're using a brush and doing the watercolor technique, take a look at your brush. Is it flat or is it pointy? My brush is pointy, and because it's pointy, I can make it look like a point. See how I point it and slide it? These are two footprints. Point it, slide it. Point it, slide it. Two footprints. Point it, slide it. Point it, slide it. Point it, slide it. Now, eventually, your footprints are going to have character. You might just, as you're going, you might be a little less careful, and maybe you squish that brush, and that's okay. Maybe you fling it or flick it a little bit so it becomes pointy at the end. Maybe it goes outward like that eventually. Now that's pretty nice. I actually really like the direction of that. I'm going to pivot on here. Because mine has that different direction, I didn't intentionally do that. We're going to start to pivot now. All of my brush strokes and we're all going to pivot. We're going to go around here. None of this is planned. I'm going to pay attention to the direction my brush is pointing. I'm going to pay attention to the pressure. I'm going to refill often because I want nice, I want very full. I want a lot of paint on my brush. I want it to really have that body, and having a lot of paint on your brush will do that. And if you need a pause for a second to re-wet your paint, then you do that. What I did just now was I just took my brush and just dipped it in the water. There's a lot of water at the end of this brush. Just dipped it in, take that excess water and put it down on my my pan. Do I have any questions? I'm not done explaining, but if you have any questions.
So you're not going to do anything with all the water just sitting on it?
No, I'm going to let that dry. Okay. It's going to do its watercolory thing, and it's going to look really nice later.
Okay.
Eventually, I'm going to need to turn. I don't want to, I want to really focus on how comfortable my hand is right now. My hand is comfortable with me facing this way. So I'm going to turn my piece of paper. Now I need to make space for that. So give me a second. I'm going to turn my piece of paper because suddenly my footprints are turning this way. I'm not going to make things harder for myself. We're just going to turn. It's kind of looking like a candy cane right now, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make it go this way. Maybe, or oh no, maybe I can make it turn. I like that. I'm gonna make it turn, and then it's gonna look kind of like an awareness ribbon.
And then it's supposed to be orange. Well, for MS.
For MS, right? Yeah. I wonder if there's something that's teal.
Yeah.
Curious about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Every color's taken.
I know, right? Just about every color's taken. I've just inadvertently made a ribbon. Now, I want you guys to take your time with this. This is going to be just at your own pace. If you feel at any point you just want to not go that direction, or perhaps you'd like to make it a little bit thicker in some areas, you can pause. You can maybe jump back. Maybe I want to come back over here. And since whenever I was doing this portion, my painting was facing upward like this, perhaps I want to make this a little bit thinner. I don't know. Can add one little brush stroke right there. Perhaps I can come over here, make this thicker. It is a ribbon after all. And oh wait, hold on. Now I have to turn it because I was going this way. There we go.
When you said pivot,
yes,
I'm running out of being able to turn around. So when you say pivot, what do you mean?
It depends. I think I've used the word pivot in two different contexts here. Basically, you can pivot your paper, of course, but if you happen to see a certain brush stroke that is maybe out of place like that, maybe you accidentally made it go another way. Well, we're gonna pivot this idea, go away from this idea that it's turning this way. Now it's gonna go this way. Does that make a little bit more sense?
Yeah.
Pivot that idea.
Have you done one where you like try to do a gradient so then it more, I don't know, naturally
Ooh.
turns into a different color by kind of intermingle,
Ooh.
like the pointillism thing we did, or?
I've never done that before. I like that idea. How would we do that if we wanted to do that? Oh, okay. So if you are using a watercolor pen, or is that what you're doing, Brandy?
No, I have water water, or not pen, brush.
Oh, the brush. Oh, that's right. You have the watercolor markers, right?
No, I'm just using
Oh,
the little paint thing.
oh, okay. The paint pen. I actually don't see you right now. I should probably.
Oh, maybe I don't have my video up. I can't
Oh
see.
no, I see. Oh no, I see you now. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, perfect. Okay. So you have a pan. So I have space over here. This is where all the mixing of colors happens. So if you perhaps wanted to either make your own color or do that gradient that you mentioned, you can take a large amount of your color and set it down over here. And then take some water. Now, the ratios for this part, I always have trouble explaining it. But I'm going to take some water here, just kind of dip it in there. See how I just dipped it in there like that? And I'm going to tap, tap, tap it onto my pigment here. This is how you dilute your color. So the more water you add, the more diluted it's going to be. So let's say maybe right here, I want it to be a little diluted. Now that's not diluted enough for me. So what I'm going to do is grab even more water. I might have to isolate some of this this color right here.
Yeah.
Just take it away from the group, but I think you get the picture.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay, yeah, and you were going at it a different way. I was thinking just starting to intermingle a totally different color, but like a different shade of green, or and then you move more naturally, because yeah, the whole mixing is tough. I can't ever do it.
Yeah, it's time consuming too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
honestly,
a color and then I can't make it again. So
oh no, I get that. But I know what you're talking about now, because you had mentioned pointillism. And yes, I say you should totally do that. And I love the idea. I hadn't thought about that. Yay, I'm so excited if you do that.
yeah, okay.
Yay. Kim, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. Hello. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy you could join us.
Oh yeah, I so needed this today.
Good. Very good. I know I've known Kim for a while now, and I had posted about this class on Facebook, so she decided to join us today.
Yes. And
Yay.
I didn't forget. I'm like, yes, win.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, everybody.
Good to see you. And Lindsay, good to have you back. Hello. I wish you guys could see my face. I'm waving. I was waving. Very cool, guys.
Don't you usually have two cameras on so we can actually see your face?
Usually, yes, but again, my camera on my computer is acting up again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I even tried to connect that webcam that I used last time, and that wasn't working either. So yeah, I hope I can get it done, get it going, because I have another class on Wednesday, and then I have another class on Thursday too.
Wow.
I want people to see me. So I'm going to pivot colors. Well, change colors. Sorry, not pivot. I'm going to change colors. And whenever you decide to change colors, you have the freedom to start anywhere you want. And technically you always have the freedom to start anywhere you want. But let's say since I want to keep this a ribbon shape personally, why don't I, where to go from here? Where to go from here? I kind of like this area here. I think I like the idea of going outward. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will not press down so hard. Let's see what that does. In doing so, I can create thinner brush strokes by not pressing down so hard. I'm trying to keep in mind how much pigment I have in here by looking at my brush strokes. If they are really full and really seem like they're very watery, then that's good. There's a lot of pigment in there. But if you notice a change, then it might be time to refill. So the goal here is just to get used to your brush strokes and really walk anywhere you want onto the paper. By combining different pressures or perhaps different colors, you can really create a whole bunch of different textures. You can make them contrast or not. You can blend them all in or not. It really just becomes whatever you want it to be. And so now I have to turn it now. So are there any questions before I move on to the dry media portion? Okay. That can either be a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes I wonder if I explained it well.
I have a question about, because of course I don't know what I'm doing. So
Uh-huh.
how you're placing, because I think my footsteps are pretty like next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, mm-hmm.
so yeah, so I'm not really sure.
It's really easy to do that. And honestly, I find myself doing that as well, where you can see right here, they end up basically being right next to each other here, right here, I did that. So I think the best thing to do is catch yourself whenever you can. Think in terms of chaotic rather than linear. Because our hands naturally want to create patterns. It's just something that humans do. We want to create patterns. So maybe instead of doing it all like this, vary it a little bit. See
Oh,
that?
and then you can fill in because
Exactly.
yeah.
You can fill in between.
That
Sometimes
was a very good explanation. Thank you.
oh, good, good. I feel like it's very, very easy to get into that mode of creating patterns. It's just who we are. But if you just kind of think about what you want, see what your hand will do to take you there. Now here, I definitely need to move it around. Once you get the hang of it, it's, in my opinion, I think pretty easy to fill up the whole page. And honestly, I feel like I'd like to add this purple, maybe inside the ribbon, perhaps. I do know that purple, teal, and I think it's pink, those are the thyroid cancer colors. And I have a friend who is going through thyroid cancer treatment. So I think I might dedicate this to her.
Oh.
I think I'll make larger brush strokes. Oh, that's right. I need to do dry media demonstration now. So I am going to change papers. And I'm going to do something dry media related. That way, if you don't have watercolors, you can do this one. Now, let me bring out the original real quick. There we go. This one, I did choose my colors beforehand. And I did that specifically because my little bag of color pencils here is very chaotic. So I'd like to work kind of fast when I do these kinds of things. So I am going to choose my colors ahead of time. So I do love this color. So I'm doing an orange. This one's kind of nice. Terracotta. And here we go. No, I'm going to do something brighter. So with this one, it's the very same idea. This power in numbers. You'll have to go, here we go, start at a certain point, and you'll have to scribble a little bit. See, every one of these marks is made with a tiny little scribble. And so I'm basically walking by scribbling, walking my hand by scribbling. So like the other one with the watercolors, I started off in a point. I just naturally do that, but of course you guys don't have to start off in a point. Maybe I'll do it this way this time. So scribble, 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 scribble and go, scribble and go. Again and again and again, scribble and go. And again, I find myself making these patterns, and I don't necessarily always want these patterns. I mean, if you do, then that's good. That's really great, but I don't. These are kind of radiating outward, and I tend to do that. I tend to radiate outward. So for me, I want to bring it in a little bit. So the next few are not going to be so pointy outy. They're going to keep on going. And eventually, your hand may get tired. So stretch it out a little bit. Roll your wrist a little bit. That does tend to happen to me too. And I use these things a lot.
I have a question about the second color. Because again, I don't know what I'm doing. So if I
doing good, you're doing good though.
Right. I mean, I enjoy it. But if I wanted to choose my second color, because I haven't done that yet, what would I go for?
Ooh, so that's a
I
tough
didn't
question.
choose your colors. I didn't do that. I started with sort of a yellowy chartreusey thing. So
yeah, that's a tough question because I'm the kind of person that won't really plan out colors ahead of time. So it depends on perhaps your mood. Perhaps it depends on a type of idea, like a beach scene, for example. Perhaps you want to think about a forest. What are the colors of a forest? How are you feeling maybe? Maybe these colors can represent you as a person. Are they, I don't know, what colors do you associate with your mood maybe? Do they seem like bright, happy colors? Are they a little bit more relaxed and muted maybe? Maybe think of colors in terms of that.
that's helpful.
Cool. Good. That's a really good question though. Like, it's something that I still struggle with, honestly. And I can give you a little secret of mine. Oftentimes I will go to Pinterest and I will type in, I think it's, what's it called? I think it's aesthetic, like beach scene aesthetic or sunset aesthetic. And it will break down the colors for me. Yeah, it's really handy actually. I think it's aesthetic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's aesthetic. So with this one, with the dry media, I just jumped right into it. I noticed that this little bit of yellow right here, it was kind of turning in on itself already. So I decided to jump ship just for now. And let's see what the next one will do. Like I said, I'm very instinctual when it comes to this kind of project. I feel like it's a really great exercise in relaxation, but also an exercise in what is it? Thinking on your toes.
Mm.
Now, if you're using dry media, specifically color pencils, it might be good to have a color pencil sharpener nearby. And if you don't quite know exactly where to turn, where to go, then I recommend maybe using your finger just to kind of draw out where you're going or where you want to go. These little bits of maroon right here, they're already kind of pointing that way. So I can kind of continue the line with my finger. That way I have a better sense of direction. Any questions? You guys are asking really good questions. Good thing I have a pencil sharpener nearby. Yes, I think I do. Now, has anyone done anything creative this week?
I have. Thank you so much, Hannah, for these classes, because it's really gotten me back into a groove, and I'm so appreciative of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tony, I put you on spotlight. Are you?
Let me get my...
Did you? That's funny. I thought you had it. It's okay. We'll come back to you. We'll wait.
Here's a couple of pieces.
There we go. There you are.
Oh.
And this.
There we go.
Wow.
That's awesome. You did that this week?
Yeah, actually yesterday, and yeah, just nothing to do. So hey, let me pull out all these supplies I invested in.
I love that though.
Beautiful.
They're so pretty.
So that's a classic case of all dressed up and somewhere to go.
Oh, Tony.
I'm trying to figure out what to do with it, but I think I'll just leave it alone.
Oh man, I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Are you just gonna kind of sit on it and let it marinate?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did a smaller one, and this one I'm gonna color in.
Oh, cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're on a roll.
Yeah,
seriously, I love that.
Oh, and I got my supplies for the can today.
Oh, awesome. Cool. You received your supplies. Yay. Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait.
I went to the beach.
Oh, Sharon.
I like yours.
Nice, Sharon.
There you are. Can I see it again? That's really great blending, Sharon.
Yeah,
I
that's
love that blending. That
Thank
sky is gorgeous too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, owe it all
I
to
tried.
you.
Yeah.
Susie's got something.
Yes, the pointillism stuff.
Oh yeah.
I tried
Oh,
with you.
cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Try to like the pointillism.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. I found you. Yeah, you know, that's really cool. And honestly, I love that you made it so much bigger.
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
Well, I started earlier in the day, but then I had to take a break.
Mhm.
And then I finished towards the evening. So probably like 3 hours, 4 hours total, maybe it took me. 'Cause I
Wow.
had to keep resting my hand. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's a feat right there.
Yeah. So
I love it. Thank you for
my,
sharing.
yeah. It was almost
Okay.
100 degrees that day, so nothing else to do. Oh,
See, that's so,
Casey.
That's my dog.
aw.
Oh, I love it. Casey's doggy.
so cute.
I know, it's adorable. You did really well with the direction of the brush strokes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that part I was proud of. The eyes, not so much.
Awesome.
Did one.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I did one, but I can't, I don't want to pick up my paper, so, because it's got, wait. Wow, this is really hard.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Well, all right, I can't, this is harder than I would have imagined, but my
we
other
can
thing's
see
still
it.
drawing. Okay.
We can see it. I
Really
love
cool.
it though.
Yeah,
I love that. I
that was
love
my
the
one on the
design.
beach. Did it by the pool while we were at the beach, but so I didn't have technical inspiration, but
Still looks good though.
thanks.
Yes.
Super cool, guys. Anyone else before I continue?
Last week I wasn't happy with what I did, so I just kept working on it. And then I got happy with what I did.
Yeah.
That
We
was
find you.
um
Did you want to show it to us?
I don't I'm trying to think if I could figure out how to do that, like, let's see.
Gotcha.
It's funny, I don't know what I didn't. Okay, I don't have I have the before somewhere, but it's not like here. But
Yeah, let me put you
I
in spotlight.
figured out what I did wrong, because I don't know what I'm doing. I wasn't paying attention.
There.
So I had like all the strokes going in the same direction. So then afterwards, I just kind of cleaned it up, and
Yeah.
at least I had like some movement and some texture, and
Yeah, and I can clearly see the gradient that you have going on too,
so that,
which I love.
because I don't know, when you say, mountains, and I don't have a sense of, well, where would I want to place that? And then you asked a good question, because you said, well, was there something that you liked? And I realized, well, I liked the colors. I just didn't like how it came out. And so then I thought, well, I'll just keep working on it then.
Yeah. No, it looks good though. And honestly, to be fair, I tend to forget that not everybody looks at, mountains and landscapes as much as I do. Or has had the practice.
But I'm also working with technological challenges. I'm using
that's true.
like technique that I don't really understand, and I just but I trust the process. So I wound up erasing a lot of what was there. It's funny because I did have a picture of it somewhere, but it's not in the gallery. And I just wound up kind of going over some of it, because while I was working last time, I lost the colors and I couldn't figure out where they disappeared to. So
that's right. I remember you mentioning that.
So all that is just like, oh, okay, well, it's just a process. That's okay.
Now, I did want to share with you what I'm doing on this piece right here. I decided I don't know if you remember, this orange portion was much smaller than it was before. And I decided to make it a lot larger and perhaps continue the direction that it was going in. And in order to make it larger, I had to combine the two the two colors together. So I did happen to put some of this yellow in between some of this maroon here. And I'm going to try to continue with the overall shape of the yellow. you may or may not find difficulty with that, just because there's so many different types of marks right in here. But I know that I want it to curve this way. And I only know that now after I've already given it some shape. I've already worked with it. And so now that I've worked with it, I can finally get more of a clearer idea of what I want to do with it. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of working with to get some clarity. And not all of my marks are exactly going in the same direction. I'm just kind of finding myself, like some of them look like they're bumping into each other, almost as if your feet are just kind of shuffling around. That's what my my pencil strokes are doing, I guess, if you want to call it that. But again, there's power in numbers. You're going to have a lot of these guys around here. Nobody's going to pay attention to that one. I mean, I guess I will. I will, now that I've pointed it out.
Maybe it's a dance party at an MS event.
I know.
Dancing everywhere.
Dancing. Exactly. It's like you're dancing on paper, though.
Yeah.
I think I do want to incorporate these two colors a little bit more, though. Kind of the same way that we incorporate the pointillism with the markers. I'm just going to kind of disperse these marks throughout this little section here. And you can do this kind of thing no matter what medium you're using. You don't have to just use dry media for this kind of thing. I definitely need a sharpener though. I did want to point out, if you're using the dry media, eventually, if your hands start to get really tired, that's okay. I compensated for my hand being tired by doing longer brush strokes. That's where this came around. They're longer, they're a little bit messier, but they still have that same kind of direction. And that's just because I knew that I needed to get through this and I wanted to finish it. I did take frequent breaks. I did stretch my hand and roll my wrist around a little bit. But it happens, this is just kind of what happens with the dry media. So take your time. It's not soft like the brush is. But I'm really liking the way this is turning out here. There we go. I sent out a bunch of sharpeners for the ANCAN event. So I get to use some of the extra ones.
I got mine.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yay.
Do you have me on that list?
The link list, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you're good to go. For those of you all who have not heard yet, I had shared a few weeks ago, information about another class that I'm teaching with a different organization. And it's free for everybody within those ANCAN groups. So what I did was I sent out free art supplies. So it's a little late to get new art supplies, but if you're interested in doing the project, I can send you a list of supplies. It's with watercolor pencils. And again, it's free for anybody.
Yeah, I got my grippies and little paintbrush from the mail, but I haven't got my Amazon yet today.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
hope he's going to be late. So
yeah.
But if not, I have paper, I think, and I don't know if I have watercolor. I think we have watercolor pencils, I think. So
Okay. I'll check into that for you,
yeah.
Susie.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. I'll check into that.
It could be because I've gotten Amazon packages like at 9 o'clock at night. So
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I have two actually. It's funny how
yeah,
that works.
yeah. And it's only, well, it's almost 7 here. So hopefully in the next
Still,
couple hours.
still have a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten them even as early as like 8 o'clock in the morning too. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So this guy here, I think I want this set to kind of maybe it'll be interesting if it curves like this. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't really know. Just going for it. I also tend to get impatient a lot of times with any artwork that I'm doing. So it reflects in the types of marks that I make. You can kind of see these marks. They're not the same as the ones that are down here, that's for sure. Now for me, I'll definitely have to take a little break from the dry media because my hands are getting a little tired. So I'm gonna go back to this guy right here, see what I can do. Any other questions for me?
No.
Cool. Guys are just going at it. Is there anybody who is further along than I am here?
I have a smaller paper, so I'm getting there.
Oh, let's see.
I do have a comment. I
Sure.
got in touch with the other Karen because she, I didn't hear from her. And I sent another email yesterday and I said, did you get it? And then she called like an hour later. So we had a good talk and she goes, well, I'm definitely coming. I registered, but I think she's going to come one day. But
one of
I
these
think,
days.
I think what happened is, I had sent her something like July 26th or something like that. And then I didn't hear from her and it's been 2 weeks. And then she goes, no, and I couldn't find your number. Like people with MS, we're just like, what
All over
happened?
the place.
So, and she's like, no, I'm definitely going to do it. And I got my supplies and I just registered and I got it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that she registered for the link that I sent her on July 26th.
Oh, maybe.
Because she was like, no, I mean, it was yesterday. It was like last night, 9 o'clock. She's definitely going to do it.
Oh, that makes, yeah. It is per, I mean, you know this already. It is per class.
Right.
She'll be here eventually.
She'll be here eventually.
Oh man, that's funny though.
Hope she knows what she's getting into. Excitement's building up.
I know.
Well, she said, I mean, it's funny because Kim, who runs the ANCAN group, she goes, that's hilarious. I'm running a group. I don't have any brains. And so for me too, it's like hilarious that I can make art. I don't know what I'm doing. And she used to do it. Tony kind of triggered my mind when she said, I just don't do it anymore. I was like, I got to call her. I'm going to call her because we hadn't been in touch since, it's shut down.
Yeah.
So then she was saying, all right, I'm going to do it. I don't know. It'll be hilarious.
Oh my God. That's part of the fun sometimes too, though. Just kind of, getting yourself into trouble and seeing what comes of it.
Good trouble.
Getting yourself in trouble. I mean, I feel like that kind of goes along the lines with this particular project because you don't really know what you're doing. You just kind of keep going. You just keep going. You just keep making footprints. I mean, I definitely didn't know what I was doing when I started this section here. That's for sure. but I kind of like the fact that these are much thicker and these are a little bit much thinner now. So I'm just gonna stick with that idea.
This is a girl on that has MS. Her footprints.
Oh, Sharon,
Yeah, I know.
we add you.
Oh, put it up again. Oh, nice.
I have
There we
MS.
go.
My footprints are all
Beautiful.
over the place.
I like it.
Beautiful.
And the dry medium is very difficult to do
Oh,
with
okay. With the
colored
dry medium.
pencils. Yeah, I started trying to do that. It's like, it's very
Really?
hard.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know though. That's good to know that you had, trouble with that one. Now you know
Yeah.
to stick to watercolors.
Yeah, I love watercolors. They're easy.
Yeah, they're really easy. They're really fun to do. I could literally work on this all day, honestly. These kinds of brush strokes, I just love them so much.
It wasn't until about now that I've realized, like when we first started, like for each footstep, I was like 3 brush strokes to make it look quote perfect. And I'm like, this is exact. Like that's just now I'm finally like you are, where you're just like smash it and go.
Smash it and go. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad that you practice though, because it's once you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah.
Oh no, now I feel like I'll never get it.
No. Don't worry, Karen. You got it. You do got it. You are using a different medium too, though. Yep. There's that.
And it's not like I have anything to compare it to.
It'll be really interesting to see what that looks like, though.
Well, I just discovered I'm just gonna stick with what I'm doing now. But just before, when you started class, I saw this, they have labels on the brushes. And so one said smudge, and I go, I wonder what that does.
Oh, interesting.
So this would be a good one to do with some of the smudge, but I'm just gonna stick with. And Sharon gave me a clue, because I kind of wanted to put pink in, and I didn't think it would work, but it does, because I saw what she did.
Yeah, Sharon, I did like all your colors though, especially the orange.
Happy color.
I'm trying to make pink myself right now, actually.
And it was helpful what you said, because I thought I'd go like with a yellow and an orange and like a contrast with teal. And then, you just said, well, what are you feeling? And it's like, well, I don't know. I can't take a beach scene and go, I feel like that. But as soon as you said that, I had already went, I feel like that orange. I think I'll go for that.
And
that's like, that's good enough.
That is a very intuitive way of doing things, and that kind of thinking really lends itself to this particular project. Oh yes, I did make pink. Perfect. Wasn't quite sure how this color would look.
And you don't know till you put it down to paper, right?
Yeah, because it looks different. It's kind of like those paint swatches from like the lumber store, like Home Depot or something. You don't really know what it's really gonna look like until you put it down.
And then you realize, oops.
Yeah, or I like it, and then I'm like, ooh, all right, I ran out, I need to make more, and you're like, well, darn, that's not the right.
Can't do that.
Well, I think I got paintbrush happy, so we'll see. Oh no, if you want to see.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm showing. So I don't know.
There you are.
I think I just got a little crazy.
There we go. Yes, lots of footprints everywhere. Yeah. And those colors look really good together too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's like
Yeah, I love it.
a sea green,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
it's really pretty though.
Yeah.
Hey, paintbrush happy. That's not bad.
Yep. Got paintbrush happy.
Kind of reminds me of like 80s prom dresses. Those
Yeah.
colors, you know,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and maybe how they would dance at prom. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh, the 80s. I miss the 80s. Dating myself.
Dating yourself.
I missed the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't say I missed it. It went over like it didn't happen with me. I missed it in a different way.
Oh, that's funny. I was born in 89, so I don't
Oh,
think
wow.
I don't have that memory.
You really missed it.
Oh,
I really missed it, yes.
yeah. I was in high school in the late 80s.
I graduated high school in '89.
So I wasn't even born yet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm feeling really old. I graduated high school in 81.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, I don't know. Am I the matriarch here? I graduated at 69.
Oh, wow.
Am I the youngest person in here? I feel like my age is showing.
I remember I was born in 79, and well, like a long time ago, I'd be like, oh, I was born in the 70s. Now I'm like, I was pretty much born in the 80s. Either we're always trying to be older, or then later trying to be younger.
Yeah.
I am all done, and I think I feel safe showing it. And I did try that gradient thing, and it just didn't really work.
Really?
Well, I'll show you what I mean. And then I got annoyed, and okay, so
There
I
we
started
go.
trying to do that gradient thing, and it. Ugh.
What did you mean by gradient thing? Like with the
Well, I
color?
was trying to so I started with just this blue part. It's hard to point the right way. I started with the blue, and these were the very intentional footsteps. And then I wanted to go and like make it move into green. So I did some green or teal and some blue. And I tried to like merge the two and then just move into just green. But it wasn't as seamless as I thought it would be. So then I got annoyed, and I just started doing dots everywhere. But
I have to say,
it wasn't until I finally practiced like all the browns and like just let it go.
swiping
and it
and
felt
going.
better. Yeah.
I would have to say you tried out something very complicated, and I think you did beautifully.
Yeah.
Like that is an excellent start, and I would love to see what you continue to do with it, because that, like, honestly, the direction there is beautiful. The direction, especially with that blue, and that was your first one, and I honestly couldn't tell because
that was the one I was really. It took like 3 brush strokes just to make each foot.
Oh, that was the
I'm not
one.
doing this right. This is taking too long.
That was the one.
Yeah.
But once you got it, you really got it.
Yeah. So now I will try it again. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it looks really good. It really does.
It reminds me of a starfish. I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a starfish.
Oh, a dancing starfish. Okay. I'm going with this dancing. I don't know, with the feet.
Can I get some color advice?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm running out of like my confidence here. And because I started I started with the yellow. I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see now. Yeah, I started with the yellow.
Oh.
Then I did the orange. And then I went to pink. Thank you, Sharon. And now I'm worried, like, well, now what am I gonna do?
I love that though. Honestly, what if you were to continue some of that orange on the bottom there? Because I'm really loving the blend of colors, the mix of colors. Those honestly, that color combo is beautiful, and I would love to see that continued. So if you were to do perhaps orange or maybe even peach, if you have peach, I think that would work out beautifully too.
Well, I could always,
what do you think?
I could make anything happen. Yeah, because I was,
See?
yeah, I wouldn't have, I just went with my thoughts, you know, with my gut. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have chosen that. And then I was drawn to the pink and the yellow, but you're right, because I don't want to put any blue in there. You know, I don't want to get.
Yeah, that would be a shock. Like, it would really be a shock, because those are very very different colors, almost opposing colors, because I believe it's blue and orange that are complements, meaning they're on the opposite ends of the color wheel. So it can be done, that's for sure, but blue would be a shock.
And there,
And
you
what
know,
you've got is beautiful.
I don't know if you can see, but there's like there's already two different kind of oranges in there. And then because of the medium, I can always go over things and do that. I am excited. I'm like, okay, it's happening. It's happening.
I love Karen, you said, I can make anything happen. And I was like, wow, that's cool. I mean, that's a good feeling.
I know, it is a good feeling.
Well, because I know I can't go, well, I have an idea and I think I'll make it happen. That's not gonna happen.
I love that can-do attitude, though. I really do. I've decided to add this lovely bright pink. Thank you to Sharon and Karen. Bright pink, because it definitely needed something, that's for sure.
Yeah, that does look exhausting. Just watching.
Little by little. Maybe it'll build up some hand muscles.
It's almost a squirrel tail before the pink.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Little squirrels.
Or maybe it's going to be Elvis's head, and now you're going to look at his face.
I love that. So that's his hair, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's his sideburns right here.
Yeah, yep.
Nice. I like it.
Sorry, I'm just finding random stuff here.
These things can turn into anything.
I see feathers.
Yeah.
Feathers. I still see the squirrel tails.
Or it could be a moon, like a moon with Elvis hair.
Oh, there we go.
And then the Elvis hair. And then the Elvis hair.
Maybe
an Elvis banana.
Oh yeah,
Elvis banana.
Yeah.
So Hannah, so Elvis, do we need to talk about who Elvis? No, I'm just kidding.
Luckily for me, I know.
I know.
By chance, I happen to know Elvis. Oh, that reminds me. You know what? I was just talking to somebody earlier today about a particular song that kept popping in my head, you know, years ago, whenever I was first diagnosed with MS and in trying to do art again. The song kept popping in my head, and for whatever reason during the conversation, I didn't remember it. Like, you know how that goes. Now I remember it. It's Let It Be. Let It Be kept popping into my head, because it's just kind of, I mean, with MS, you just kind of have to let it be sometimes. So Let It Be would
like
pop
the
into my
Beatles
head.
Let It Be? The Beatles
Yes.
Let It Be? Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't remember for a second there if it was just John Lennon or if it was the Beatles as a whole. But it is the Beatles, isn't it?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, it was.
I just got an email about that song because I'm on like music on a music list. Like a music community, and somebody wrote, Chris, I don't remember what it is, but it's like, we can just let it be. But he wrote a parody about Let It Be. I mean, I literally read it like an hour before this class.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, what's that message? Let it be again.
Let it be. Interesting that you also thought about that song too. I always find it interesting when things like that happen.
Let it be on it the other day.
Wow. Man.
And then somebody piped in on this website because there's a song in Hebrew that was kind of taken from Let It Be. And it's instead they say Lu Yahi, which means like, you know, may it be so. And so I have that in my little head too. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah, because it wasn't, you know, she didn't steal his song, but it has a very similar.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, you know, well, let it all, you know, let it be.
Let it be.
So it may be so.
So it may be
so. I'm
so.
so excited. I'm really happy with what I'm doing now.
Yay.
You know,
I think.
And I'm glad, like, I'm learning when to ask for help from you.
Good. Like, yeah, I guess, you know.
Yeah, like, can you know, like, can you help me with this idea of the color? You know, it's like, it's not called cheating.
No, not at all. It's not at all called cheating. No. No, not at all. Like, and in fact, I will even advocate for, as a form of practice, you can still copy other people's work. If you want to learn a certain technique, then by all means, I'm all for, you know, copying somebody else's work because you're learning. Just don't try to sell it, you know.
As your own.
Yeah, as your own. There you go. Don't try to sell it as your own. It's my little PSA for the week. I'm definitely seeing the Elvis hair and the moon, actually.
Yeah.
Like that keeps, those two things keep popping into my head. And there's just a pink squirrel on the moon's face.
Well, just put a dot of black in the pink area and you got an eye.
Yeah. Looks like his face. Yeah.
Wonder.
That Elsa hair really looks good though.
It does. And it is like, now, you know, you can see that collective mind. So I'm almost done. I mean, I'm sort of done with what I put on there, but there's things that like need correction or not, or, you know, I don't know if I should, can I show you?
Yes, there you are. Oh, I keep adding you as a spotlight, but there you go, disappeared. There we go. Beautiful. Karen, that's beautiful.
But those things, I can't point and hold this at the same time. But you know, those yellow wispy strokes on the bottom, is there something I can do to strengthen them, or maybe like add that orangey stuff from the side to go into it? Because that was my very beginning.
Okay, that was the very beginning. Now, what if we were to maybe add more of the thinner, more wispier ones? Maybe try to make it look intentional, perhaps.
So maybe make it like thinner, like add like thinner strokes.
Yeah, like maybe thinner strokes coming from that same spot and going outward towards that same direction that everything else is going towards. That way you can kind of play it off, so to speak. Blend it in a little bit by adding more.
Okay, because I feel really proud that those little circles or whatever they are, those and it wasn't supposed to be peach. I really picked an orange, but I can decide the size and the opacity and whatever.
Yeah. But I love
I feel good. I was like, oh.
I love that you were able to really provide a sense of direction. Even though you don't have exactly the same tools, there's still that sense of direction, and it still looks, you followed everything exactly, and it looks beautiful. So you did great. Is there anyone else who wants to share? I just realized the time, it's 8:10.
Oh, yeah.
I will real quick. So my first one
Oh,
Oh, good.
did not love because I had trouble controlling the size of the strokes.
Uh-oh. No.
But then I started another one and I did better with the strokes. And then it just looked like a
oh.
loop.
There we
I
go.
like that. Yeah.
So I ended up accidentally sort of filling in down here, which I don't love. But I was happy with this part.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I like
starting
it.
to look like what kind of flower is that? It's like a snapdragon. I think that's what it is. Or one of those
Or crocuses?
like
Are they called crocuses? The purple tops? I don't know if they're called crocuses.
maybe. I know snapdragons, they come in all kinds of colors, but
I like it.
perhaps the beginning, perhaps the beginning of that. I love it. George, I saw.
Yeah,
Where-
I need some help with how to finish the bottom of it.
Oh,
Wow, George.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I love that.
Wow. That
nice.
really takes you on a ride. I love it.
Yeah. Really cool.
It makes me laugh. It's like there's
I
something
love
funny
it.
about it too, right? It just kind of
It's the yellow really does
Yeah.
it for me. I love that yellow.
Feels like you could hit it with a black light.
Yeah.
A little psychedelic there.
George, do you mind holding it up one
Sure.
more time so I
Certainly.
can take a look at it?
Yeah. I kind of ran out of ideas as I got toward the bottom of the page.
Gotcha. Oh, there we go. That helps.
oh
There we
yeah.
go.
That's really cool.
What?
Like that.
Yeah, and I love that they turn in on each other.
That's what
Really did that.
excited me about your first little loop on there. I said, oh, that's pretty neat. And then I wound up doing a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So what can you do? I would say, is there a certain portion in which maybe you can continue, or maybe even add another little loop somewhere? Let me see if I can spotlight my own picture really quickly. Here we go. Perhaps if you have another one of these ribbons that kind of hang off, can you maybe stretch it much further down and maybe wrap around
Bring it around.
the other, maybe wrap around the other ribbons that you have,
Yeah.
or perhaps even maybe add another one. You'd have to look at yours, but maybe add one that sort of accentuates or goes along with what you already have there, and then stretch it on down again, perhaps. There's a lot of ways you can do it. And you're more than welcome to email me your picture too. I can definitely help you.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Good.
Very cool. Love it. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Who else would like to share?
Tony. Tony, you're muted though.
There we go. Oh, I keep trying to add people for Spotlight and it keeps taking you away. Okay. Wow, that's such a big paper too.
I'm gonna call mine out of control.
I love that.
It's beautiful. I love it.
The purple kind of reminds me of like a swan or a duck with its wings and its head. Like like its head, and then up top is like its wing. And its
Oh, I
body.
can see it. I can see that.
See like a swan or something.
Face to face. I can't see that, but I can see it in the reflection. I can see
Yeah.
it. That's cool.
Very cool. That
Wow.
is very cool. Yeah, it reminds me of like a swan or something. It's very cool.
Mhm.
It looks like zoomed in paisley to me, but
Yeah.
Oh. I'm loving the green portion.
Yeah.
That green portion. I can't stop looking at that part.
It's very
Beautiful,
cool.
Tony.
exactly.
Yeah, very cool.
The green looks like a big thumbprint.
Yeah. It
Oh
does.
yeah.
It
yeah.
does. Yeah, it does. Very cool. Thank you, Tony.
Yay.
I'm sorry, I have to run, everyone. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
Good seeing you, Brandy.
yeah, I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Good week.
Thanks,
See
y'all too.
you.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Before I show y'all next week's class, is there anyone else who'd like to share?
Well, I'll show you mine.
Yeah. There we go. Put you on spotlight. There we go.
Cool.
Marianne, that is beautiful. Man,
Love you.
there's so many different textures. It honestly reminds me of you know those aerial view of fields, like when you're looking down, you see fields like of crops. That's what it
Crop
reminds me of.
With crop circles.
Yeah, crop circles. Beautiful.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
Mhm. The blue especially. I love the way you wrap the blue around really nicely.
Very cool.
So much motion.
That was good. It was fun. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Marianne. Now, next week's class is, ta-da, it's a quote. So I'm going to show you guys how to, first of all, cut out a piece of paper without the use of scissors. And after we cut that out, we're going to write down our quote. And I'll have a better example ready for you with a cursive handwriting, perhaps. You know me, I like to use markers for just about everything. However, you can actually use whatever tools you have on hand with you for this one. This one, because I'm a fan of The Office, I decided to choose a Dwight Schrute quote. So that was my quote. And I'll show you guys how to frame it in a really nice way. So this is smudged, probably. I have no idea why it's smudged, but it is. But you guys get the gist of it.
And it's marker, you said, that you use? Okay.
Yep, 100% marker. I may or may not throw some pen in there, just kind of depends on how I feel. But especially if you guys want to use pen, we can definitely use pen as well. So there it is.
Yay.
You can have a quote ready if you'd like. If not, you're more than welcome to look for one in class too. Cool, you guys are awesome. I always have fun every single time.